Jesus says, "Those who want to come with me must say no to the things they want." Luke 9:23. This resonates with me. I want to be a follower of Jesus Christ. I want to be his disciple. I want a relationship with him, to walk with him, and to live in continual communion with him. But what does he say? If you want this, then you must say no to the things you want. There are two wants within us. There's the want of the spiritual man, the deeper desire for God, the hunger to know him, to have fellowship with him, to grow closer to him. That's the higher calling within us. But then there's the other want, the want of the flesh, the carnal man, the part of us that craves comfort, pleasure, and convenience. It's the same duality Paul talks about in Romans 7. For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. Just like Rebekah had two nations warring within her, Esau and Jacob, there are two forces at war within us, the flesh and the spirit. Both want dominance. Both want to reign. But Jesus makes it clear, if you want to follow me, if you want fellowship with me, then you must say no to the wants of the flesh. You must deny yourself. For me, denying myself often comes down to the small daily choices. It's when my flesh says, "Stay in bed a little longer. You're too tired to get up and pray." But my spirit says, "Get up. Spend time with God. He is your first love." And I have to choose. Do I say yes to the comfort of sleep, or do I say yes to communion with God? Sometimes it means fasting, saying no to food, to social media, to entertainment, because those things have started to pull my attention away from God. And when I fast, my flesh starts screaming, "I'm hungry. I'm bored. I want to see what's going on in the world." But I have to say no. Why? Because I want something more than food. I want something more than entertainment. I want God. Saying no to the flesh is not easy. It hurts. There's a cost. Jesus said, "Pick up your cross daily and follow me." The way of the cross is a hard way. It's crucifying the flesh, denying its desires so that the spirit can thrive. It's saying no to the temporary pleasures of this world so that we can experience the eternal joy of communion with God. And I found that when I do this, when I say no to my lower wants, God always meets me. The more I deny myself for His sake, the more I experience His presence, His peace, and His power in my life. This principle ties back to the scriptures in Luke 9. The disciples thought they didn't have enough. They only had 5 loaves and 2 fish. But Jesus told them, "You give them something to eat." He asked them to give what little they had, even though it seemed like it wasn't enough. And when they obeyed, when they exercised their faith, God multiplied what they gave. And not only did everyone eat, but there were 12 baskets of leftovers. The same principle applies here. When we give God our time, our energy, our desires. When we deny our flesh and choose Him, He blesses us with more than we could have imagined. It's the same with the widow of Zarephath in 1 Kings 17. She only had enough flour and oil to make one last meal for herself and her son before they died. But when Elijah asked her to make a loaf of bread for him first, she obeyed. And what happened? Her flour and oil never ran out. God provided for her beyond what she could see. This is the principle of the cross. When we deny ourselves, when we give God what little we have, He takes it, multiplies it, and pours out blessings that we cannot contain. But it starts with a choice. It starts with saying no to the flesh and yes to the Spirit. Yes, it hurts. Yes, there's a cost. But what we gain in return, fellowship with God, communion with Christ, and the power of His Spirit, is worth far more than anything we give up. Because in the end, as Jesus said, what good does it do for people to win the whole world but lose their souls? Luke 9:25. The temporary pleasures of this world are nothing compared to the eternal joy of knowing Him. So I choose to say no to the things my flesh wants, because I want something more. I want God.